It's good
What's
to
going
see
on?
you.
Hello, hello.
We were discussing yesterday that
It's
with
good to
all
be.
these interviews that we've been doing, we've seen a variety of different hairstyles, whether it's beards being grown out or hair going from short to long. So I was wondering what we were going to get with you, if we were going to see like a shaved head, and now we have our answer that it is a grown out beard.
It's a grown beard. The wife and child asked me to grow it out, so
It's
I said,
great,
sure, why
right,
not? I'm
right.
off.
You've got nothing
So,
but time to grow the beard right now.
nothing
Now,
but
is there a
time.
limit to this beard, Barry?
At this moment, no. But I think once we start touring again, I'm gonna have to hide these grays a little bit.
Well, I think it
maybe
would get hot
down,
between
you
your
know?
hair and the beard playing drums, especially these outdoor festivals and stuff. Like, that's a lot of hair. That's a lot of heat.
You know, I mean, it's hot up on stage anyway, so it's no difference. It's neither here nor there with all the lovely pyro and
That's a
stuff that we
good
try
point.
to
I
bring to
didn't
the
think about
shows.
all
You know?
the fire.
Well, how you been, man? It's been a long time. I don't know if you know, you've been doing great, well, and how's life?
I'm doing great. I'm doing well. You know, it's we all know what's going on this year, and it's been difficult in some respects. You know, you hate not being able to do shows. I hate not being able to do what I love to do for a living, but it could be much worse. So overall, it's great, and I've got a forced vacation to spend extra time with my family, which is always good. You know, connecting with my wife and child, and getting to hang out. And we homeschool my daughters, so, and I do history and science with her. So being able to start the school year off and actually be home instead of being her virtual teacher when I'm on the road it's been nice. So those things, you know, yeah, we could all complain about certain things, but overall,
And I saw
everything
you were
is
out
great.
paddle boarding this week, so that's nice.
Yeah, I enjoy paddle boarding. I can't say I'm like a master at it or anything, but it's nice to get out. And I live up here in Jacksonville, Florida, which has a bunch of waterways and whatnot, so you can get out and do some paddle boarding and get some sunlight and still stay away from people, which is fine by me. I'm not a big person anyway.
Well,
I know you and I have gotten together and we've done some cooking before. And are you still into cooking, knives, all that fun stuff? Tell me what's going on in that knife world. I heard you got some knife things going on.
Well, you know, I was trying to maybe start a knife company, and then I realized in doing that the market's pretty saturated. There was nothing there. And my name isn't necessarily Rachel Ray's or something like that, or Bobby Flay, where it's going to be an instant brand seller, which is fine. I still love knives, and yes, I still cook all the time. I've been delving a lot lately into Thai cuisine and trying to learn how to make really authentic Thai food and make my own curries and things of that nature. So
now, as you travel the world with Shinedown, you get to go to, obviously when you're in concert mode, you don't get a whole lot of time between shows to enjoy quote unquote restaurants and stuff. But have you had like certain parts of the world you've been at, Barry, that you're like, man, when I get back here, I have to go to this place because I love the food there?
yeah, we've been lucky enough, you know, we've been touring a long time now, so we've kind of found our pockets, and there's always certain things that pop up that are new and exciting, but there's certain areas you go, you know, for example, here in the States, when you go to New Orleans, it's a food mecca. You're going to have so much great food. Now you have your spots you got to hit. Same with, there's certain places in like the UK where you're going to get great Indian food because of the whole, you know, British occupation of India and all that, and they brought all the Indian food back. So there's great Indian restaurants there. And German food, you know, wherever you're at, I try to find a local restaurant and try to enjoy the local flair, whether it's a street market in the middle of Bavaria or someplace in the UK or wherever. It's kind of nice just to find those places. And now it's so easy with the internet, and I don't go to Yelp because it's just
complainers,
a bunch of complainers. But you could find a great restaurant and somebody didn't like that their spoon had a little fleck on it, and now that's, you know, a 1-star review, and meanwhile their food's amazing. So I don't look at Yelp. I look at everything else but that. But you can go to some of these travel shows that have been out there, and these people that you know travel and taste food, whether it's, you know, a famous guy like Bourdain or something like that, but you can find these restaurants now.
Very lucky to know you guys from the very beginning, man. And I am so proud of you, Barry. You guys have just exceeded every expectation. And congratulations, #1, the most #1s of any rock effing band ever. Can you believe what you guys have just accomplished with that feat?
No, I can't.
No.
It's weird. I think when you're inside the bubble, you're always looking forward, and you know us because you have known us so long, and thank you for all the support over the years. But you know kind of how we work. We're always just pushing forward, never looking behind, and we're very excited about having these opportunities and reaching these milestones. But it's okay. We did that. We're already, what's next? And
Oh,
Brent is already
Brent's like 3 years down the line.
I love him for his pride.
I was going to ask about that too, because I know he's been talking about, Shinedown 7 is in the works. And I know typically in previous albums that you've worked on, you kind of come in a little later. Is that the case for this album as well? Have you started laying anything down yet, or is it still a little too early for that?
It's still a little early. He's been writing a little bit with Eric recently, and I know him and Zach have gotten together and they're getting ready to do the Smith and Myers stuff. Yeah, I come in later. It's not that I can't write songs, it's that I don't write songs well with Shinedown, because the way Brent's brain works for lyrics and melodies, it's not based around the drums. It's based around a guitar riff or a piano thing or something like that, and that's just how Shinedown's always written. So I come in later. I have heard some of the early demo stuff so far that they've been working on, and I'm very excited about it. But I do come in at a later process, and that'll probably be later this fall into winter, beginning of next year, because we definitely want to have an album out next year at some point, hopefully spring.
Hey, we got to do this thing real quick. It's time to get saucy with PDQ. We've got some listeners that have submitted some great questions that we'd like to ask you from our listeners. They're all going to get hooked up with the $25 gift card to PDQ for asking these questions to our boy Barry. So here's a couple questions from some listeners right now here in Southwest Florida, okay?
All right, Barry, this first one is from Nicole. And Nicole asks, what is the one song that comes up on your set list, the one that gives you that tingle in the pit of your core when you play it?
Oh, that's a good question. I think it depends on the show. It really does, and what's going on at that moment. Sometimes it's whatever that new single that's been released off the record, and you play it, and the crowd goes, wow, and you're like, okay, they've heard the song. Or sometimes it's just that that moment when you play a Shinedown classic like Second Chance or something, and the whole crowd's singing along. That's when you feel that. You can feel that anticipation. For me, I think overall, the most I get excited is the start of the set. When you get up on stage and that energy hits you and you know you're about to put on a show, and the curtain drops and you hit that first note and you see the crowd. From then on out, it's pretty much a blur, and I'm focused on what I do. But to see that is the best drug in the world.
Awesome.
That's a great feeling.
All right, we have one from Tom who asks, what is your most embarrassing moment on stage?
We've been doing it a long time. There's been some embarrassing moments. I can think of 3 off the top of my head that were embarrassing for me. One was, I don't remember if it was at the end of Sound of Madness touring cycle or during the Amaryllis touring cycle, but again, going back to Second Chance, we're playing Second Chance, which I've played a million times at this point. Go to play it, and it has that very simple but big drum fill in the middle. And I completely flubbed it.
Oh, no.
Completely, just shoes in a dryer. My brain said, nope, you're not doing that today. And everybody just turned and looked at me, and we just all started laughing. Because, mistakes happen. But it was this big, empty hole in a beautiful song. And I was like, oh, God. I beat myself up for days for that. Recently, we were playing, it was the last U.S. tour, I believe it was, when we had Papa Roach with us, and we ended the set with Brilliant. And that's a pretty fast barn burner of a song, and somehow in that song, we lost it. I lost it, not we. I lost it, and the beat got off. And it was all on me, and that's the closer of the set. There's fire going off, there's lasers going off, and all of a sudden, the song went from, yeah, we're killing it, to what the hell is going on? And, we have everything's time coded to a computer, so the lights are all there and everything else. And then we also have like the backing orchestra tracks and things like that. So they're off. So shoes in a dryer happen, and the guys get back on with me. I have to stop everything else. And we finish the set, and I just, what can you do?
One more here from Isaiah, who asks, is there a group of musicians that you would like to collaborate with in the future, or a musician?
We could ask that question in different ways all the time. Like, hey, who would you do a side project with? Or would you collab and write a song with somebody? And no, not necessarily. I'm not saying never or no. we do have the most #1 singles.
You do.
So the collaboration doesn't necessarily need to be there, but if it happened organically and it was fun, absolutely we do.
Awesome.
Well, it's time for one last thing that we like to do here. It's time to get saucy with PDQ, and we're going to throw some questions here at you that me and Marija have come up with, and it's either going to be this or that.
Great.
Are you ready to do this, Barry Kerch of Shinedown?
I don't know. You know too much about me, so this is nerve-wracking.
Well, it's not. We're not quizzing you. You're just gonna answer.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Just answer. Fine.
All right, I'm gonna go first. My first one: cars or trucks? Breakfast
Trucks.
or dinner? Lars
Dinner.
Ulrich or Tommy Lee? Tent
Tommy
or
Lee.
cabin?
Tent.
And finally, butcher knife or chef knife? All right.
Chef's knife.
All right.
Here we go. See, that was
See,
easy.
that was easy. Here we go. Steak or chicken, Barry? Guns N'
Steak.
Roses or Motley Crue?
Guns N'
Paddleboard or
Roses.
kayak? Football or
Paddleboard.
baseball? And
Football.
lastly, boobs or butt? Yeah, butt
There you go.
guy.
There you go.
And we're about 60-40. A lot of the artists we work with are more on the boobs. I'm a butt guy. You're a butt guy. Barry Kerch of Shinedown. You are all done with us today, my friend.
Can we say that anymore? But I feel like we might get in
okay.
trouble for
I'm
that.
okaying it.
Yeah,
I think
she's
it's
okay.
fine.
She's a chick. We're good. We're good. We're very PC here. Well, Barry, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on all this success. It's been enjoyable seeing you again. I miss you,
Thank
brother.
you.
But next year on the road, we'll run into each other
Miss
again,
you.
okay?
Let's do that, and we better, because I'm tired of sitting at home. Let's get to work.
Okay.
and have
Well,
some
we'll
fun.
see you soon. Thank you again so much.
Thank you, brother. Much love. We'll see you again soon. Tell the boys
Love
you
you all.
said hey.
Thanks to all the fans out there. I will, and thank you all, everybody that joined us today. That's really
Very
cool.
cool.
I
Thank you all.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
Cheers, y'all. Bye.